In 2011, Shane Dawson released one of his first yearly Yuletide attacks with How Shanaynay Stole Christmas, a short film written and directed with all the care and subtlety of a Christmas Eve car accident. Despite the budget and resources available to him at the time, Shane's 14-minute holiday parody manages to drag on into New Year's, with its copy and paste storyline, atrocious comedic timing, and a cast of one-dimensional characters who are also confused, aggressive, or directionless that it's like watching a petting zoo become infected with mad cow disease. Since uploading my review of his unpleasant music video Maybe This Christmas, Shane has posted on his Instagram story that he's proud of that song to this day, despite it having outdated jokes. You know, like about child abuse, so old school. Let's see if he feels the same sense of pride in this production, which features his racist character Shanaynay and her friend Jamaican Girl. I already need an antacid. Stay tuned for another Shane Dawson holiday installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another Christmas festive holiday breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite creator videos, or least favorite as the case may be, movies, TV movies, and then I ginger snap them into pieces so that we can look at them piece by piece, arms, legs, severed heads, and sniff it out, see what's funkin' up the air. You know, sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna do a video on, and then I realize, oh, Shane Dawson has more stuff that I haven't seen yet. Before we get into all the Shane Dawson nonsense, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know that you want to see more content like this. But most importantly, I would love to have you click that subscribe button. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. I've also got merch and a brand new Patreon where you can get bonus content and extra exclusive stuff from me. So check that out in the links below. I was very interested by this one right off the bat because it features Brie Essrig, who was also the star in that slasher film we did, Friends Forever. And there's kids in it, there's a musical number, there's a lot to unpack. And all of it is through the lens of Shanaynay, who I guess this representation of it is not technically blackface, but it's a racial caricature, clearly mocking a certain cultural group, race, or socioeconomic status. But seemingly the character was a fan favorite, and they gave her a whole adventure in this little comical farce. Similarly to that Shane Dawson slasher movie, this one is confusing. Like, I don't know which person is supposed to be the main character. It starts off seeming like this Brie Essrig character named Natalie is.
Okay, Katie, this is the last delivery. Okay. Why are you reading my car's user manual?
I wanted to learn more about it. Did you know your car's a total piece of
So precocious. It's like if Dakota Fanning had really bad management and poor on-set supervision. Shane loves working with children. I know that because he has kids in a lot of his short films, in a lot of his YouTube videos, they revolved around children. Kids are hard to direct. That's like the thing they always say is don't work with kids, animals, or I think it's just those two. Kids or animals. Because in filmmaking, it's like you can't control them. You get no consistency in the performance. Natalie has to tell Katie that, sorry, Santa can't afford to come to our house this year, but next year he's gonna bring twice as many presents. Then she gives her this locket and says, you hold on to this for the year, and then next year, when Santa comes, you can give it back to me. I don't understand what this device is setting up. It's never fully fleshed out.
But this is your favorite necklace.
And you're my favorite sister.
I'm your only sister.
Oh, that's right. You don't know about Samantha.
Who?
She was a good little sister, just like you. I tickled her to death.
This is so wholesome. Why do I feel like something racist is about to happen?
Is your child protective service? Cause you're not ever taking my baby!
Shane said offensive stereotype. Is that like a new kind of fancy Bluetooth speaker? This character is played by Shanna Malcolm. I think she was in a lot of content of Shane's at the time. It's not racist if I make my black friend say it. Finally, we get the introduction of our main character in this story, for better or worse.
Ooh, my pizza! Is there toenails and pubic hair in it?
No.
What? Y'all always up.
Is that the Babadook after using Duolingo for 6 months? Pubic hair and toenails is not something any human being would ever want. What are you trying to say about this person that you're pretending to be? Like, are you a monster? None of these characters are based in reality. They're just like completely, like, I don't even know what to think when I watch these movies. It doesn't compute. You can't go from being so earnest but still unfunny to being disgusting and unfunny. Like, I can't get worked up this early on. We're only like 2 minutes into this. So Shanaynay gives her $20 $20 and Natalie thinks that the extra money is a tip because he makes it sound like that.
Hold on there, Firecrotch. Where do you think you're going?
Oh, Shane, you're slipping into your Aunt Hilda voice. It's probably hard to keep all your characters defined since all of them wear smeared lipstick, Hannah Montana blazers, and the hair of a murdered corpse. He was doing all of these characters at the time, and I don't know, like, who was laughing. Who was laughing? If you were out there laughing, it's okay, but I want to know why. I guess if you were really young and, like, that's what's on, that's what you're gonna watch.
Okay, girl, the only thing me and you have in common is that we both had sex with Ray J and we both caught his crabs.
Ray J didn't have crab.
He didn't? Then who'd I get mine from? Bob Saget.
Oh my god, somebody please just laugh or he'll keep on adding punchlines and forced pop culture references. This is no way to spend the holidays. I hate the way that his jokes just never land a punchline. He just keeps on adding to them, drawing them out, and it just continues to get unfunny. All of the jokes in this are incapable, panicky, and frustrating. It's the me playing baseball of comedy writing. The setup here is that Shanaynay and her friend are mean to Natalie, the pizza delivery person.
Wait, don't you want your tip? Don't have sex with Bob Saget.
Oh, I'm gonna get a real job.
Ugh, looking like you're about to cry actually makes me care about you less. It's the same thing I tell those kids that I babysit. DM me for rates. I don't know why Natalie is even on the verge of tears for this. I would be like, okay, I didn't get a tip and you guys are the trashiest people I've ever met in my life. Good luck with that. I feel like they could have gone harder to show me the poverty of these two girls in the car. Like, what if they were eating scraps of pizza for Christmas dinner, or they were gonna lose the house in the new year, or something like that. Up the stakes a little bit for me. I know I say it all the time, but otherwise I don't know why she's crying. It's like she can't buy toys for her sister. Like, a pizza delivery job is actually a real job, so the insult doesn't feel powerful to me. But whatever, we're done with that character for now. We go back into Shanaynay's house, which is just like this dark, dimly lit den. I hate the way this whole thing looks. Everything is shot like no one cared how it looked. You're gonna be afraid by the size of the kombucha that I'm taking out right now. That's the only size I could get in the flavor that I wanted. But it does feel like having an oxygen tank on my desk. It is, it's full of oxygen and it gives me life, my biome. I don't really know what movie that was trying to be just now, but now we're going right into full Grinch mode. Basically everything from here on out is a copy of The Grinch, which I should have expected from the title, but normally something has like a little bit more of a variation than what this story does.
So much for a Merry Christmas. My own sister didn't even get me a gift. Oh, never mind, you got me perfume. Ooh, that smells so good. I really wanted Britney Spears Curious, but that works too!
Ah yes, now that you're done wafting that fart into your face, you can continue your hero's journey, just like in the Iliad. Do you think there's some version of me out there in the multiverse who hasn't seen this movie? Do you think he smiles just a little brighter? Multiverse Nick, he has the life that I wish. Shanaynay is watching The Grinch, obviously, and that's what gives her the idea to go on this crazy plan. Why? Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know why she wants to steal Christmas, but that's what she comes to.
That's what I'll do. I'm gonna steal Christmas.
Oh, just like you stole this character from Martin Lawrence? The decision to steal Christmas is more unmotivated than that eyebrow that's drawn above your real eyebrow. I hate it here. It kind of feels like, not a Merry Christmas because my sister didn't get me presents, but that just makes it seem like, oh, she doesn't have anything and that's why she's sad, so she's gonna go steal other people's presents. I think what makes the Grinch a particularly interesting character is that he just wanted to ruin other people's Christmas. You know, it was like his greed or whatever. So maybe they could push her greed a little bit more by being like, oh yeah, she got presents and she lives a pretty good life. That's why she can talk down to the pizza delivery person, but she wants more. She wants all of the presents. It feels so weird to try to give advice to this movie. Like, I don't think anyone actually cared. I don't know why I care. I just do. I care a lot. I care in the way that if I see a pile of vomit on the floor, I'm gonna clean it up because it smells bad. Can't just pretend like it's not there. Oh, I touched my palm tree when I said that. Oh, you are not vomit on the floor. You are leaves. Let me get some more of this. So Shanaynay steals the Santa outfit by murdering real Santa and then starts breaking into all of these houses. She has a map of the town and then she goes into the first one and we get that kind of Grinchy musical number that we all hate so much. It wouldn't be a Shane Dawson production if there wasn't some song crammed in where it's just a nasally Shane Dawson singing these awful parodies. These awful parodies. It's hard to even explain what's so bad about Shane Dawson's parody writing. Actually, I do. It's the writing. That's how I would explain it. Let me show and you tell me, oh no.
This calls for my own fantasy dance number. Hit it.
When I watched this for the first time, my eyes rolled back in my head when it cut to this bland looking white psych studio with 2 tinsel candy canes hung in the background. Like, girl, the production on this is so lame. We talked about this in all of his music videos in the past. Like, just having a big white set doesn't mean it looks professional. It just looks empty to me. You're always trying to sell me this Christmas holiday fantasy land, and it looks like you just went down the list of Amazon's bestsellers for yard decorations.
Running around your neighborhood and I'm stealing all your shit. Watch out. I hope that you have a lot of bling, cause I'm gonna go pawn it.
I'm sorry, can you really call it a fantasy musical number if only 2 out of your 4 twinks have actual modern dance training? Oh well, at least they're all wearing the pants from a pirate Halloween costume. The lyrics are always so forced on these parody songs. Like, he'll just cram in all of these extra syllables or throw off the actual rhythm of the song to fit in his stupid words. It makes it not as funny. Not that we had a high bar to hit in the first place, like, this hasn't been funny. Every time I watch one of these movies, I have to struggle to remember the last time I laughed. I'm like, I feel like childhood there were moments of goodness. I wish I could just live inside this huge aquarium of kombucha. Then the bacteria would take me alive and dissolve my bones.
Maybe I'll try to smoke your tree and then I'll raid your fridge.
The color of that cooked turkey just gave me a parasite. Thank you. All those cookies don't count. I hate that you can tell all of these lame ass attempts at showing him looting are all in the same location. They just kind of redecorated. They could have done a lot more. When you think about the Grinch stealing all of the Christmas stuff in Whoville, it was all about those visual gags. Even Kevin McAllister setting up all of those booby traps in Home Alone, visual gags. Like, what is that gonna be? He's setting up that. Or even Elf, when he's decorating the inside of the store, Gimbals, you see him cutting out things, setting up the light bright. You have to have creativity in your visual gags, not just you pushing over a tree and picking up a turkey and slamming it into your bag. Like, that's just letting me know that I'm not letting you in my 1-bedroom apartment because I have nice things in here. We can't contain all of that crazy class clown energy, all right? Save it for middle school, Tommy. I think they really tried to give us something impressive with this musical number. Like, they cut to shots of this guy dancing, but I mean, they're wearing fabric pants with a stick-on bow on their belts. Like, it's not even achieving the over-the-top sexy look that it's trying to be. Whatever, I don't care. I've given up on Christmas. I'm Kwanzaa now. That doesn't make sense. Fine, I'm still into Christmas, but I'm not happy about it.
We don't have any cameras, and I hope I don't wake you. But what I hope for most of all is that none of you are Jews.
I've drafted a class action lawsuit. If you can just put your name on this, post it, pass it around until everyone on earth has signed it. No one deserves to live like this. This whole song gives me so many chest pains. The dancers make me ill. The stupid set makes me sad. Just because you know how to rhyme and you have GarageBand doesn't mean you're Weird Al Yankovic, okay? Back off. At the end of this dance number, the guy with the tattoos goes rogue and starts to show off his rock and swimmer's bod.
Step over the Grinch, cause I'm the new bitch who just stole this Christmas.
That song really just ended with 2 full bars of him going, Do you actually hate your audience? Are you trying to be bad?
Whew, I am tired. Anyone got a blunt?
I hate to pick on the tattoo guy, but it seems like his face was not prepared to be on camera for that shot. Shane's like, I know it's weird, guys, but act like you're turned on by me. Shanaynay comes upon her last house of her holiday heist, which, you know, basically all took place during that song. It wasn't really very visually pleasing or easy to understand what was going on. It didn't even really show Shanaynay like going between houses to houses. It was just interior, interior, interior. I would have loved if we could have seen her like tiptoeing from house to house so we get like, oh, she's getting the whole town. Why not show like pulling the lights down from the outside of a house? Like anything more than just nothing would be great.
Last house.
I don't think you can just steal the transition music from Glee, especially because that last musical number, Mama, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. But just as with Cindy Lou Who and the Grinch, Shanaynay runs into that little girl Katie in this last house.
Brenda said you couldn't afford to come this year.
Is Brenda your mom?
No, she's my sister. My mom died when I was a baby.
Mine did too.
Ugh. Learning about Shanaynay's backstory is like seeing one of Adolf Hitler's paintings. Ugh. Definitely not good enough to make a difference.
What about your daddy?
He's in jail.
So was mine! Oh, that's Brenda.
Oh, I'm gonna get a real job!
As I said, delivering pizzas is a real job. Sorry, it somehow doesn't pay as well as posting blackface content for years on the internet, Shane. I don't know why we live in a world where that's a more real job. That's not her fault. Also, why does Shanaynay flash back to something that she didn't even say? It would be more powerful if it flashed back to her being like, get out of here, fire crotch. Also, I would argue that that whole situation at the beginning of the movie isn't strong enough to give Shanaynay this change of heart right now. It should maybe like start to plant the seed, but I think there should be a turning point after she meets this girl, and not just like suddenly because they have this stuff in common, like the mom being dead and the dad being in jail. Shanaynay's like becoming endeared to this girl.
Oh, look at you. You love to laugh. What's your favorite TV show?
Whitney.
Oh, girl, you just laugh at anything.
Me to Shane's 15-year-old audience at the time. Like, sweetie, no, read some books. But not Shane's books, goodness. Also, why the Whitney joke? Like, Whitney is a sitcom starring Whitney Cummings that ran for 2 seasons. Real timely. If you're going to use a show that not everybody knows about, then you have to make it clear why that's funny. So he could be like, what's your favorite show? Whitney. Oh, so you like divorced mom humor. Then it's like, I don't have to know the show Whitney to find that remark funny. Or he could have used a more well-known show that's famous or infamous. If he was like, what's your favorite show? And she's like, Friends. He could be like, ugh, you'll just laugh at anything. That's what sucks about Shane's comedy, is like, it's always just pulling in the most obvious reference and holding that up and being like, laugh because I called a specific thing out. No, I don't want to laugh because your fingernails look dirty. Like, I agree that specific callouts make jokes more funny, but they have to be set up in a way that allows it to be unexpected or subvert your expectations. You know, I hate to explain the mechanics of comedy to someone who's not even listening, so I'm gonna save my breath. Let me kiss this plant. I like to put it in my mouth a little bit. It's fun for everyone. Oh.
Will you remember me?
Of course I will, Ling Ling.
Katie.
Sorry. Santa smoked a lot of weed earlier, and you kind of have little Asian eyes.
Okay, we're gonna do a second class action lawsuit. Just put a check next to your name if you're in for this one too. You could just say anything you wanted on YouTube at this time, couldn't you? Like, Miley Cyrus had already had to apologize to the Asian community at this time for taking an insensitive picture. It was in no way okay to make jokes about that, right, at this time. Like, this was 2011. I think what it was is this content was so siloed from the mainstream viewership. Like, it was really only Shane's audience watching this stuff, and they were too young to understand that how offensive it was. So it really kind of went unseen for so many years. It's all taken off the internet now because it's like blatantly racist, but at the time it was falling on deaf ears. People who didn't know any better is what my understanding is. So Katie hugs Shanaynay, and you can see like, oh, it's starting to really melt her heart, and then she just leaves. I would have loved to see a more pronounced change here. Like, I mean, if you're gonna be copying the Grinch, then I'm gonna keep referring to that story, which was more successful. The Grinch gets all of the stolen stuff and then hears that the Whovillians are still enjoying Christmas anyway, so he wasn't able to steal Christmas, and that made his heart grow. We don't get that with Shanaynay. She basically has no turning point. It would have been great if we see her get back to the house and she's like convincing herself that she did the right thing because, oh, that girl will have a million more Christmases. I mean, I did, and I turned out fine. Look at me now. And then she realizes like, oh, what she has isn't so special. And then she looks at the stuff she's stolen and realizes, oh, they had little homemade gifts for one another and they love being sisters, and that melts her heart. You know, then I'm getting the emotional progression to it. It's still condensed. It doesn't just slap a bunch of events together and call it a short film. That's not a narrative film. That's a vlog of a natural disaster. So the next morning, Katie and Melissa, what is that her name? I don't know, who cares? Natalie. They both wake up and we get a weird bit of editing here as well.
I got you something. I know that it's kind of small and kind of stupid, but I thought that you might like it.
He's so cute.
Shane, do you think it would help the audience feel more satisfied if we showed a close-up of the toy that we're talking about? I don't know, I don't really pay attention to those scenes that don't have me acting like a fucking clown in them. It's so bizarre that you wouldn't show a close-up of that toy. Like, it's a toy that you're saying is cute and I haven't seen its face yet. That's so uneasy for me. It's little things like this, man, that you're just like, you have a lot of nerve coming around here and calling this written and directed. This movie is a snail trail on humanity. The sisters are all happy to have their small holiday with Christmas tree pancakes, but as they get downstairs, there's a big surprise.
What?
Okay, but you were just walking down the stairs with your eyes closed. Why do I have a feeling this is how your mother died? The house is magically filled with presents and everything looked magical.
Merry Christmas.
Santa came. I knew he would come.
If that little girl believes in Santa, then who does she think Shanaynay is standing there? Like, that's a random new person who looks like Santa? You know what? Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. I've already passed away. Rest in peace to me. Dunk. Also, as far as Natalie knows, this woman who she dropped a pizza off to last night broke into her house this morning. I would be like, how do you even know where I live? What the hell? But instead it gives Brie Essrig this chance to do her almost crying face that she loves to do in all of these Shane Dawson movies. She's like, you gave us Christmas presents? Like, yes, Miss Visine. Can you get over it?
You did all this? Why?
Well, I felt bad for not giving you a tip. I know what it's like to grow up not having a Christmas.
Yeah, but you didn't even have a Christmas this year. That's why you were stealing, because no one gave you any presents, right? See how that doesn't work? Shane said, yeah, but it's very relatable if we make everyone poor. Shane says, there's one more thing I got you, and then in walks their dad, who, as you might remember, was in prison.
How are you here?
Let's just say I did a little Christmas miracle.
Where you want me bury this policeman body?
I don't even know who that bitch is.
They somehow only had to go through one guard to access the dad in prison. Must have had the same cell as Jeffrey Epstein. Also, if that's how easy it is to get someone out of jail, then why can't Shanaynay get her own dad out of jail? It's like, shouldn't be an issue either. I hate how they just like resolve conflicts by having Shanaynay kill the person. She got the Santa suit by shooting Santa. She got the dad out of jail by shooting the cop. Like, I think they want it to be over the top, crazy, and funny, but it actually just makes the whole movie feel like nothing. It's a big sandwich full of nothing. It's tuna salad made of nothing and mayonnaise. Remember at the beginning I told you that Natalie had given her this necklace and said, next Christmas you can give it back to me when we have presents or whatever.
You can keep this. I gave it to you.
Santa came. Dad's home. A deal's a deal.
It's really cheap to try to just put something at the beginning and end of a movie and try to make that feel meaningful when it actually had nothing to do with the story. If you were trying to make some point about magic being real around Christmas time, I would have loved if Natalie, when she gave her that necklace, was like, you know what? When I was a little girl, Santa gave me this necklace and it makes your Christmas wishes come true. But it takes a long time. So if you wear this all year, then next year the wish will come true and we'll have all the presents you want and we'll have everything we need. But you have to really believe. Then it would be cute when she gives it back at the end and said, it really works. You know, like, you can make it sappy and cute if that's what you're going for. Like, that's the other issue. This movie doesn't know what it's trying to be. It's crazy and funny, but then it's like girl on the verge of tears, emotional hugging. Like, I don't know if you want me to actually feel sad or feel heartwarmed or be laughing at the whole thing. Like, is it making fun of itself? It doesn't seem like it. It's kind of taking itself seriously. My theory is that Shane Dawson never really had the confidence to pull off an earnest story, so he always cheapened it by adding himself in as these frilly characters who, now looking back, are just completely racist and not worth watching at all. And then everything that he does try to make actually effective, like these scenes, come off as hollow in comparison. You saw the same exact thing happen with Not Cool. He continued to add himself into that movie in different ways that would humorize it, but totally fractured the reality of the movie.
No. I don't want to intrude on family time.
Why would you think that you're intruding when you're part of this family?
Y'all about to get me emotional. And I'm on my period, so I'm about to get real emotional.
Women are monsters. That's what I'm hearing. How are you their family after one good deed? Like, you broke into our house. It feels really unearned that now Shanaynay has a family. Like, if she had done something better, like saved their house, like I had mentioned, like the dad coming home from jail thing is just so cheesy. Whatever, I hate it. But we couldn't close out this movie without one final twist of the knife.
Shanaynay's small heart grew 3 sizes that day, and she got a gift that can't be found in a store. She finally got a family, and that means so much more.
The only thing worse than sudden narration at the end of a movie is narration that's a word-for-word copy from the source material, just doing find and replace on the proper nouns. Ugh, that was awful. It annoys me because it takes a lot of time, energy, and money even to put together a 14-minute short film like this. A lot of people had to dedicate their days and hours to acting in this, and the story just was so disrespectful of their time. It's disrespectful of the audience's time. It's disrespectful to the creators of the original property, The Grinch. But most of all, it's disrespectful to people of color and people of different backgrounds who he's clearly trying to mock for laughs throughout this whole thing. Look at this part of my hair. It's trying to escape. It's trying to get further away from the computer screen. Ooh. What do you guys think of Shane Dawson's How Shanaynay Stole Christmas? Do you agree that Shanaynay is a racist caricature even if she's not in full blackface? I do. Let me know in the comments below, but also give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on videos on YouTube or short films. Give me some examples below. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe subscribe button that looks right down there. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I've got a new thing on the block, baby. Also, as I mentioned, I now have a brand new Patreon where you can join for a monthly membership and get bonus content, handwritten postcards, virtual watch parties, and other exclusive stuff, so check that out. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for stealing Christmas back with me. I will see you all next time.